What's up, guys? Before we start, I just want to say one thing. We've got three wastebands.
Audience. We have audience today. We got 3 idiots in the background, and they don't know how to.
We got Ali. Go on, say something.
Say hello.
Okay. He decides not going to say anything.
Ali doesn't know how to speak English.
We
We got
got,
Fetra, up and coming as well, and we got Hassan.
Okay, hold on. Just you got to be louder, bro, because the mic's too far away from you.
Salam alaikum.
There we go.
there
You guys heard him. And we got Hassan, another young G. Say something. Don't be like. Oh, okay,
Louder,
yeah.
bro.
We definitely heard the salam alaikum. Don't
We
worry.
did hear it. So, anyway.
Okay, so today we didn't have a proper topic to speak
Bro,
on.
it's not even about that. I just there was a
We
bit
were
of that.
we was gonna have
Okay.
someone coming.
Here's what happened, right? We were supposed to have Jordan on.
With
However,
champion.
something came up. You couldn't make it.
You couldn't make it, so now we have to go back to the first episode
You couldn't make it. I was gonna get.
and freestyle.
I was gonna get Josie on as well.
Oh yeah, and then she got injured.
She's one of the coaches in Parity Martial Arts. She's good. I was
She's
gonna
good. Yeah,
have her.
I agree. She I seen her stuff. She's
Yeah, I
legit
was gonna
as
go
well.
to her gym and
Parity,
record
yeah.
it there, but she had like an surgery, something.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
So that didn't happen. Jordan was supposed to be on today.
That didn't happen. But I promise you for sure we will have them on here, and we will have more guests on here. We have people wanting to be like
Wanting to come on.
literally coming from other parts of the UK to come here just to sit down and chat shit with us.
Yeah, basically, just talk.
Basically, yeah, just to talk.
That's essentially pretty much it. So today, basically, I just want to address a couple of people. I want to address because obviously, like on TikTok, where we've been uploading on Instagram, and
TikTok and Instagram.
Before we even get on to the haters.
Oh, the haters are.
I want to just appreciate the supporters, those 3 included.
Ali watches it on his 85-inch TV, as he says.
85-inch TV.
As he says.
He's got massive
Massive TV and watches the whole podcast.
The whole
That's why.
podcast, from start to finish.
That's why he's here.
We got Fetra watches it as well, and Hassan. So the supporters, we appreciate all of you for.
That's why they're here today watching us.
From tuning in, you know, like from liking to like sharing and all that. Now let's get to the haters. Listen here, you piece of shit. All right, you motherfuckers is a bunch of bitches. All right, if you got a problem with what we talk about, why don't you come here? Just show me.
The thing is, these
we
guys
don't know what martial arts is.
With these guys, the thing is, the haters, they think we don't know what we're talking about because casual. But I'm literally an MMA fighter. I am literally someone who does this as a living.
Exactly.
Like, bruv, I know what I'm talking about, and I've been watching UFC since 2017, bruv, and I was a baby back then.
Now, what it is, bro? Did you see one of the comments? The guy was like, "This is actually funny." He tagged Keir Starmer. He was like, "Ban podcasts," and he tagged Keir Starmer, right? So I replied with, I was like, "That's a sick idea. Where do we sign up?" And then
Well, people,
the guy who was running the Keir Starmer account, obviously it wasn't Keir Starmer.
Obviously, yeah.
The guy who was running it as his name, he was like, "I'm not gonna ban podcasts."
There you go, straight away backed us like it's nothing, bro. But
And
listen,
he was like, "Oh, you can't even run the country anyway."
listen, podcasts, we're doing it because we
It's
like
gonna
to do it.
continue.
It's gonna continue,
It's gonna
regardless
happen.
of you guys
We're
liking
not
it or
stopping.
not.
I don't care if we have like 3 viewers. We're still gonna
Those
upload.
3 viewers are more important than a billion haters. I promise
Exactly.
you that. So
Exactly. So this
for
is
whoever
still
watches
gonna
the episodes and everything, we do appreciate you a lot. And if you just even like a photo, like a video, just anything, we appreciate that a
go.
lot.
So this is gonna keep going. We're gonna keep uploading, whether you like it or not. It's gonna happen. If you got a problem with that,
Friday XL Gym, 7
XL
PM.
Gym, bro.
We got me and Fetra
Just-
ready.
Just come in. We got Fetra there. We got Hassan there.
We got the lineup.
And we got Ali. Ali, he's just started yesterday, so just.
So Ali's
I'm
on.
just kidding.
Ali's on.
Calm down.
Okay, so today we don't have much of a topic, but what we are
I
gonna
mean,
do.
we will be talking about at the very end. We're gonna touch up on UFC 330.
UFC 330.
But
Yeah.
before that, on the very first episode,
Very
we talked
first episode,
about,
which is also, do
when
you know, it's the most viewed episode
that was time ago, bro.
because it was the first episode.
Innit? It was just
Yeah.
time.
That
But yeah,
was-
so what we talked about was your come up.
So we
and
talked. Yeah, we talked about
we
how
ended it about basically.
in
If you
the
want to watch the
midway-
first episode, you can watch it. But we ended it.
midway.
You came here.
Yeah. So
So coming here.
everything I've said in the first podcast, you if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. And now we're here when I've joined Exhale. So let me start off.
So So basically, all right. You're at Excel now.
Yeah.
You've trained for how long?
3 years at Excel. Yeah, I'd say three.
No.
Three and
I
a
know
half
you've
years.
trained 3 years, but I'm on about when you started coming to Excel.
Yeah, 3 years.
How long was it? No, I know. I'm on about when you first came in.
Yeah.
How long was it for you to realize you like, you know what, this is it?
Oh, bro! As soon as I started, the first day I came in.
Yeah.
First day I came in, I was like, "This is where I need to be.
This is
where I need to be."
And what was that like? Like transitioning from like other gym.
Obviously, I was at a time of life where I was at a searching point where I was looking for what gyms to go to and everything, and then I just came here. Obviously, if you guys watched the first episode, some little kid told me to come here, and then I came here, and since then I've fell in love, and I have not left, and I don't plan on leaving anytime soon until obviously it gets to a point. But then obviously here I'm here to grow, I'm here to stay.
So going back to okay, you're training at Excel now, and you're like, okay, this is your gym now.
Yeah.
What made you think, okay, I want to fight for Excel?
Yeah. Okay. So I was training at Excel, and I'm like, okay, this is a place where I can grow myself on the mental aspect, because they got tough people. Like some of the Look Bri lot, they're tough as hell. They're raised to be tough. Like, if you guys know,
their training is just different. Like the way these guys train, Look Bri, it's constant. One thing with the style of Look Bri is switching
and pressure
and switching, but constant
pressure.
Switches.
Yeah,
Southpaw
you guys don't see it coming. You guys don't see it coming, I promise you. Well, Look Bri works on both feet. So I was watching, and I was thinking like, yeah, this is the mental toughness that I need to grow myself, and these guys need to build me. So then I come to a Wednesday session, and Jay sees me. He's like, oh, this guy's how did it go? Because Bilal was there.
Yeah, when it was a Wednesday session.
It was a Wednesday session,
and you were just there.
I was there.
Wrestling, grappling. Was it wrestling against someone?
It was grappling, yeah.
So I come in, right, and I'm talking to Jay Guevara. He's one of the head coaches.
Yeah.
We'll have him on at some point, just not yet.
Just not yet. There's always a time for him.
But before we put him on, just, you know, he's quite a character. So anyway, I come into the gym and I'm talking to Jay, and Jay was like, "Yo, have you seen that kid? Have you seen that kid?" And I'm like, "Who?" And then he pointed me towards Farid, and I looked at him. My first thoughts, I was like, "He's Afghan."
Afghan, you can smell the Afghan from there.
I was like, "He's Afghan." So then your hair kind of threw me off a bit.
Oh yeah.
Because you had the curly hair, like usually with Afghans, it's just like
straight. But then
straight
once in a while you got a curly hair.
So with him, I was like, okay. I was like, alright, cool. And then I came over and I spoke to you. I spoke in Pashto because I thought you spoke Pashto.
And then I was like, what is this guy talking about? What is this guy saying?
He couldn't speak Pashto. Everyone in his family, in his household, speaks Pashto fluently.
Like yeah, exactly. Even my mum, she's born Pashtun. Like that's who she is.
He just doesn't speak. He just does not speak Pashto. But for those who don't, Pashto is basically.
But the thing is, at least I'm not like some people that don't even know how to speak Farsi properly.
Yeah, that's mad.
That's mad, isn't it?
Mad. Ali, we're talking about.
No, we're not talking about Ali. We're talking about Fetra. Sure, Dad Dorum.
Fetra, you can't even.
Fetra struggles to speak his own language. Okay, forget them two. They don't know how to speak their language. Go, But these guys.
So anyway, coming back to it. So I saw him. I was like, oh, cool. He looks like. Jay was very impressed with you.
Jay was very impressed. Yeah.
So that was the first time.
So then he asked me, he's like, do you want to fight? And I'm like, yeah, this is why I came. I was like, I want to fight. This is what I've been searching for, because I've been training for so long with no fights. And I'm like, I need to fight. And he's like, okay, I'll put you forward for a fight. And I was like, oh shit, it's happening. I couldn't believe it. Like, okay, I'm at the place and now it's happening. I got to start working now. And then, so we forward on. Obviously, the fight he's searching for a fight, and then we had the Thai festival coming up.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the Thai festival? So the Thai festival is an interclub we have in the middle of a park where we just do bare K1 Muay Thai festival.
It's in July.
That this gym holds. So then we go, and Jay, he asks. I'm there to coach. I'm there to corner. Sorry, I was there to corner and help with the pads and everything. Yeah. But then Jay asked me, like, "Do you want to fight today? Like, do you want to fight today with no like warning or anything?" And I was like, "Oh, it's interclub." Bro, me coming off with no experience of fighting, I was scared. Obviously, anyone who's done interclubs with no experience know they get scared. So then I got scared and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I just said, "Yeah, let's do it." And then I think he goes to the reception and he goes, He passed the test. Yeah. Because here in this gym, we're the type of people where we accept the fight on no matter how many days notice. Like we're always ready. You know what I mean? We're always, as Jay says, Jay, our head coach, says, it's life camp, not a fight camp. So we're always 100% in training, always working hard in training. So where any situation comes up, any opportunity comes up, we have to go. We have to take it.
Yeah.
So
So,
then
you're training at this point now. So you do the Thai festival.
I do the Thai festival.
I remember your opponent was Dan.
Dan, he was a whole coach apparently.
Dan used to be. He used to fight for XL. This was a long time ago. This was before any one of you man were here.
Yeah, and he came out of
He was
nowhere.
one of the coaches as well.
Yeah.
And he was your first opponent.
First opponent.
And you did well.
And I sweeped him twice.
All
I
my
think.
days,
Yeah.
bro, it's not really funny, but it's low key kind of funny depending on your humor.
Yeah.
I found it funny.
Yeah.
Bro, it was hot as fuck.
So this
right?
is the floor's
and
black.
It was so hot, and obviously the ring, right? It was like it was black in
It
it.
was black. The
And
heat was getting.
If anyone knows, it attracts heat.
Attracts
It
the
was,
heat,
bro.
yeah.
People were getting blisters, like legit fucking
fat blisters. Couldn't even
You know
walk.
James Graham. You know the big lad.
Jimbo Slice, man. Of course.
Jimbo Slice, bro.
Yeah.
His feet were like
Burnt off, bro. They were
burned.
burnt
I'm not
off.
even exaggerating when I say that. It was actually bad.
Like these were
Jay had to carry him out of the park
to the ambulance. Yeah. So that's
It
how
was
bad
bad.
it was. Yeah.
Every like 10-15 seconds, we used to like throw a bottle of water, and whoever was the ref, whether it was me or whoever, we used to just put like a bottle of water all over the
On
ring.
the floor to get it wet so we could actually step on it.
It was really hot.
So it was really hot.
So how was that experience, having people watching you? Because I think with what
That
you
was-
said earlier, like not one of the misconceptions is when people think like when they're fighting is that they're scared.
They're scared.
Me necessarily, I think it's more having a fear of people watching you
Yeah.
than actually fighting.
Then fighting.
Because for anyone who's trained, you're not scared of fighting. It's
just-
more the nervousness and
It's
having
the-
to accept like
Yeah, yeah.
having so many people.
It's the
watching.
human anxiety. It's the human anxiety.
Yeah, it's the
As
anxiety.
people,
So how did you deal with that? How did you overcome that?
humans, they walk around, like let's say they're walking around through a town or something, like a busy street, and you just think your mind is telling you like everyone's watching you, everyone's watching you, everyone's watching you, everyone's looking at you, everyone's looking at you. But in reality, no one's really watching
Yeah,
you.
but
That's one
in
thing.
that case, obviously,
No,
you're doing nothing. You know?
Yeah,
People
and that's
are-
doing
there's
nothing. And listen, now you're in a cage where people are actually watching you. So now your anxiety has gone from here to there. So people are actually watching you. So now you're thinking like, oh shit, it's happening.
So how
Your
did you deal with that?
So how I dealt with it, I was like, I had, the thing is, one thing, if you're afraid of something, you can't, when you hesitate, that's when you've lost against it.
Takes over.
That's when it's gotten you. Once it's gotten you, so I just went in. I was like, okay, let's go. I'm in now. Like I can't. There's nothing I can do. There's no going back. With something you're scared of, if you could push yourself to a extent where you can't go back, that's it. You've conquered your fear and you're in it. You're in it. Now you have to finish it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I went in.
And from remembering, you did well. I think you had a couple of sweeps.
Yeah. Nice.
And
Against.
I was talking to Jay. We were happy with
with that performance.
So okay, so you had that into club.
Yeah, I had that into club, and then that's it. Jay confirmed the fight for me, and this was all in Wolverhampton. This was my first ever fight. It was on Fight Series, which was it was their
Combat
first show.
Fight Series, I
No,
think.
no, it was Fight Series.
Fight
Series.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
called
it
Fight
was
Series.
yeah.
Yeah, this was their first show, and I was having my first debut on there. So their first ever show, their first ever everything, and they had it in a quite good venue as well. It was a bit.
And just to sorry to cut you off.
That's all right.
That fight, your fight against Jules.
Yeah.
Now, because obviously they had other fights.
Yes.
Everyone that I spoke to after that fight that came up to me, and I literally mean everyone. From the promoters to the competitors, they were like, bro, that should have been the main event.
That should have been the main event. Even me and Jules were like, yo, we put on the show where we should have been the main event. But the thing is,
Because the face-off was ages.
The face-off.
What happened,
oh
right?
my days.
So just from
we put clips in it. We can put clips of the face-off and everything.
I don't think I've got the clips.
I've
of
got
it.
the clips.
Have
I've
you
got
got it?
I've got everything. Yeah.
Just send it to me, bro.
So I'll show you. You'll see what
I'll put it
what
on
happens.
now.
And now it's back. And now you see that's how the face-off was. So
Basically,
it was
what
intense.
happened, right? Basically, what happened
It was
is
built up.
what happened was they were meant to have a face-off. They did, and then something went wrong. So they were like behind the scenes. They were trying to fix it. Now him and Jules
We're just
carried
standing.
on.
We're just standing.
They were just
We
looking
don't
at
know
each
what
other
to
the
do.
whole time.
We don't know what to do, and I'm there like, oh fuck, what do I do now? I'm just And he's so close to me. I'm like, oh shit, do I kiss him?
I'm not even joking. It was like longer than it should have been.
It was way too long for a
And then
face-off.
people were just like looking, and they were just
Everyone's
like,
watching you, and then I got my opponent right in front of me, like.
because at the start it was serious, and then they were like, bro, what are we doing here?
Yeah, and then I think so he was close to me, and they were taking the pictures, and he was this close, like his face was this close to me.
And that was the first time.
I thought his nose was gonna touch mine, and then I was like, okay, maybe that's too close. So I just gave him a little push, and then he came back, boom, with the biggest push. So that built it up. I pushed him out the way, and then he came back, pushed me, and I said, oh, go on, we'll see all of that. Yeah.
And it was from obviously me remembering that fight. It was your first fight. First MMA fight. Yeah. It was like having so many people, and it was loud in there. It was
loud, and
there
the
was
lights.
So many people.
And people don't underestimate the lights.
I think honestly, today, I think that was the best venue that you fought in.
Either that or the O2 Academy.
No, I think it was just something different about that.
I don't know.
The hangar, innit? It was like dark.
It was dark and
massive,
everything
and
right in the middle of
ramp
nowhere.
To the cage.
Yeah.
So in that fight, it didn't go your way. But
so what happened in that fight? Straight away, the game plan was to straight away pressure on him, rush in, put the pressure on him, and I went in, and I knocked him down in the first 5 to 10 seconds. Boom, dropped. Now what do? I go for the finish like a donkey. I go for the finish, but obviously you're meant to go for the finish, but I go for the finish in a way where it's not controlled, not like. There's no intention behind it, and I miss every single shot to end the fight.
He just gassed himself out.
I gassed myself out. He grabs my leg, and then that's when he stands back up, and I'm like, oh fuck's sake! And I'm tired. I'm tired because I got adrenaline dump straight away after that knockdown.
And in that fight, you actually went to sleep.
Oh yeah. So then he stands up, and then he gets my neck, and then. Like I put my neck, he gets my neck in a guillotine, and he just drops himself. So when he drops himself, I'm there tight in the guillotine. It's tight, and I don't know what the hell to do. And I'm fighting it off, and then I go sleep. I fully go sleep. I don't think the ref saw it though. I don't think the ref saw it. They didn't know. Or he let go in time for me to like wake back up.
No, because I think he hit you.
Yeah, no, because then he turned me over. He went on top of me. Boom, boom.
And
boom.
you woke up.
I woke up. I swear to God, I thought I was in my bed. I thought I was sleeping, and I woke up. I was like, "Oh shit!
What's going on?"
Me. I see the lights, and someone's punching me. So I turn over, and then that round finishes, and I'm tired as hell. This is my first fight, and I'm already adrenaline dumped after that first shot. And then
so fast forward. All right. So you had that fight, and then you're back at XO training, and then I think you had a couple
and then
K1 fights.
So literally, like I think it was either a month after or 2 months. It was a month. I'd say no, not a month. I'd say. Literally, like almost 3 weeks after, a few weeks after, my Dean Kendall, the Lookbrai owner and XL Gym owner, but he comes up to me, he's like, I've got a K1 fight for you, 75 kilos, and I'm at 80 right now, so I'm like, oh, I have to make, and this is a 1 week notice fight, and they're telling me that I have to make 75 kilos.
And how old are you at the time?
And I was 16 at the time, and I was like, oh, I can't do that. So they bumped it up to 77, and I accepted the fight. I was like, yeah, I'll accept the fight. Let's go. Little do you know that whole fight was a whole English title fight. It was against someone that was, before I fought him, I think he was like 10-0. 11-0, something like that. And he was much older than, I think he was like 10 years old. 28, yeah. I think he was like 10 years older than me, much more experienced. And this was my second fight. At 16 years old, second fight. 1 week notice.
It was his first fight in K1.
In K1, so, and it was a whole different venue as well, and like everything played part. And I made the weight, but I didn't rehydrate properly. I made the weight. It was quite late when I made the weight as well. I had to lose 3 kilos, and then I didn't rehydrate at all properly. So I was shit on fight night. And fight night I got tired. And what's it called? Yeah, I was fighting the guy. I got tired, and just like my whole body gave up. But this obviously is consequences of my training.
Yeah.
When I was in training.
And just to add a bit onto that, he's gonna agree with me on this. How he trains now, and how his performance speaks for itself. This guy used to be lazy.
And I used to think
like in training, we would be training, right? And then we'd be like obviously training, and then we just look back, and he's just laid out on the floor like this.
And I used to think like it was fun, like it's a joke. Yeah, I'm the lazy guy. Oh, bro.
Looking back now,
that was one of the dumbest things that I've ever did in my life. Because they used to call me lazy, and I used to be like, yeah, I'm lazy.
I'm that guy.
I'm that lazy guy. I like being lazy, and I was like, no.
But so obviously, so those fights went on, and then you had another one fight.
And
so
then
basically, I think where we went wrong, not wrong per se, but everything happens for a reason. Obviously. MMA was your forte. MMA was your thing.
Yeah, and then so like literally right after that, the next year came in, and I posted my story. 2023 is my year. I swear to God, I'm gonna work as hard as I can.
It definitely was not his year.
It was not my year.
It wasn't his year.
I had a K1 fight booked in again, and then
I think you were like 0-3.
Oh no, I went 0-2 in K1, 0-1 in MMA. So it was 0-3 in total. Yeah, and then against this guy, I had a kickboxing fight coming up, and I literally fought while I was practically fasting. I had to make weight while I was fasting and everything, and that weight cut was the worst weight cut of my life.
It was the one where I was with you.
Yeah, almost 12 hours in the sauna.
12 hours.
12 hours.
You had to cut what, 7 kilos or 8?
I think it was 6 or 7 kilos.
It was just bad.
It was a bad weight cut. It was.
I remember I had to be at work at 4 p.m. I ended up going to work at 9.
9.
I had to phone in. I was like, look, I can't come in with you guys.
I was at the worst shape. And do you think I rehydrated properly?
No, it didn't. It went 3 rounds.
Yeah, it went 3 rounds.
But looking back at that fight,
I could have done more. I could have done more. I could have done much more as well. I even agree. That was a split decision fight. I did knock him down in the last round while I was fasting and everything, which probably pushed it to a split decision or something.
So coming back now to 2023 is the end. And you know what? One thing I want to say is, I haven't told you this before. Like, obviously, this goes out for anyone. What this guy went through, like having to lose MMA, then lose again, then lose again, then lose 4 times. You lost in a row.
3 times.
You lost MMA.
2K1.
You lost against
2K1,
and then you lost again.
K1.
That's it. Did you compete after that?
3
times. Even like losing 3 times in a row, and
I had an MMA fight booked for July as well.
Yeah,
and then
but losing to at some point it just goes to show like his mindset, like, because some people they lose once, and this is even like in professional level in UFC. Some guys, they take that first loss, they don't know how to react, they don't know how to deal with it. But this guy lost, do you know what I mean? But what impressed me the most about you, like the way you came back, and even then, like, because I honestly thought, I was like, you know what, I might need to have a conversation with this guy. Just say like, this might not be it. But I didn't want to have that conversation because I thought, if you came up to me and said, look, Bilal, I don't know, if I would have just said, cool, yeah.
I was at a point where I was like,
but but the thing is, it just shows.
Is this even for me?
It just shows like your training, like what you wanted to do on fight night. Your training wasn't showing it. Because your training was here, and you wanted to perform up here.
Yeah, exactly.
But so 2024 comes around, and
so after 2023 happens, obviously I come back from Afghanistan. You've already had the story.
He got slandered
for not training hard. Yeah, in Afghanistan. So I come back from Afghanistan. James also comes back. James Alexander. We had him on an episode before. Well-known judge around the city, around the south coast.
Like local MMA scene.
Local MMA, so well-known judge.
Very knowledgeable.
Also a very good coach, in my opinion. I appreciate him a lot. And so it comes, and he's like, "Okay, you want to fight? You want to fight MMA?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to do that." And he puts me he books me in a fight on Supreme against someone who was my age. I think he was my age or 1 year younger.
Soren.
Yeah, Soren Constantine. I was 17 at the time, and he was probably like, I think he was 17 or 16, one of those two.
And Soren Constantine,
he was 2-0 before I fought him. Yeah. He was 2-0, and he
very strong lad.
Very strong lad. Oh my days, like proper dig,
like a bodybuilder
type strong. Yeah, and he won his first fight by submission and his second fight by first round TKO. So then I'm coming off. I'm like, okay, this guy, obviously at my age, I'm like, yeah, this guy's something. And then it comes, and then for the first round, I trained so hard. Like coming up to the fight, I trained so hard where I'm not even getting. I get disappointed if I'm not training hard. I get angry at myself. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And then I go do something to make up for that. I would have rest days. I would have 1 day rest, and the next days I'd be working at least. There was points of times where I was working out, training 3 times a day. That much. As soon as sparring finished, I'm there in the gym working out on my stamina, because I knew if my stamina was not good enough, I wouldn't be able to compete.
So that fight.
So that fight, first round, I was dominating.
Because he wanted to
take me down, and I was obviously I'm one of the hardest people to take down.
Because I spoke to him afterwards. He said their game plan was to out wrestle him, and I just want to for someone like you who has tried to take him down, you're gonna have to earn that.
You're gonna have to earn the takedown. So
and
then,
I'm a lot heavier than him.
Yeah,
but still, not by far, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I'm a bit.
Still heavier,
now,
yeah.
but
So
still.
then that first round finished, and then the second round, what I was doing in that whole fight was turning the takedowns on him. So I was taking him down instead. So he'd shoot a takedown, and then
executed the game plan.
I take him down. That was the game plan, and then TKO first round. It should have been a TKO. The ref didn't stop it, where I was literally ground and pounding him. I can maybe put a clip up, and then the ref should have stopped it, but didn't. So then it was retired in the second round. So he gave up in the second round.
And then your second up, the next fight.
Keeping up in that momentum, I was 1-on-1. So I stayed training the same way. I was obviously I still do it now, but then
1-on-1 in MMA, by the way.
I was 1-on-1 in MMA. So keeping that momentum going, I was booked in for a fight literally day before Ramadan. As well. So the day before Ramadan, I fought this person. He was debut fight from a good gym 01. What was their plan again? To wrestle me. And they tried wrestling me, and
who was that against again?
His name was Ewan Loy, something like
Ewan
that.
Loy.
Yeah, Ewan Loy. Yeah, so he tried wrestling me, 77 kilos on the day as well. Tried wrestling me.
It was a good back and forth fight.
He realized that I have wrestling. I got the 30-27 win, and yeah, obviously that fight finished, and I was glad that I won that fight. And then the next fight coming up, this was probably.
It was against Hodge.
Josh Hodge, yeah. This guy, Josh Hodge was massive. 2-0 again. Another 2-0 fighter when I was 2-1. He was big. He was massive. He was coming back off like losing a lot of fat as well. So he was training. And his first 2 fights were first round finishes. Yeah.
I think I was watching on an interview. He was like, "This fight won't go past the first round."
Yeah, he's like, with my fight, it won't go past first round. I was like, no, I can't let.
And it was 30-27.
I can't like that. I can't let that happen. And I just won that fight again. Another 30-27 fight where I won both fights. All 3 rounds. And you could like see how my ground and pound was working.
It was beautiful, man. You executed the game plan again, and then your last fight, which was recent one.
My most recent fight, I think I've matured the most in it.
Yeah,
this was the most matured I was in a fight, where I was relaxed, I was complete.
For someone watching, and so obviously we were watching, right? And honestly, like this FARID, if we were to compare him against
the first
Jules,
right? FARID.
Again, in this fight, the striking exchanges were beautiful. The teeps where you hurt him.
Yeah.
When you dropped him in this fight, you didn't rush in.
I did not rush in.
If you
see how calculated the ground and pound was, every shot landed, and it was landed with intent.
It was amazing.
So I was holding, boom, it would land.
The shots were beautiful.
He wouldn't see it coming.
Again, so obviously that pretty much covered the whole story of you starting from where you were to where you've ended up. And I just want to like finish on a good point.
Yeah, so that was my last fight of the year. So I had 4 fights 2024, and all 4 of those fights I did not lose a round. I did not.
You didn't lose the fight.
My face was practically normal, and every single one of my opponents, their face was, you could tell they were damaged. The game plan was executed nicely on every single fight, and that just shows that once hard work.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to get to. So basically, like I said, so look, there's some point, at some point in your life, you're gonna go through some adversity. You're gonna go through some issues. It doesn't matter whether it's in combat sports or at your work or relationship, anything. You just need to understand, like, if mindset is the most important thing. If you can like face your fears, like you mentioned earlier, and just through hard work, through determination, you can achieve anything. And as cheesy as it sounds, that's literally
Everyone's heard it, but the thing is, it's true.
From my point of view, with I saw it firsthand. I saw it firsthand with him. Like the losses he took, and when he bounced back, when he came back from it, he said he didn't accept it. So, this goes out to anyone. Again, you're gonna there's gonna be some point where you'll have your highs and then you're gonna have your lows. You just gotta fight through it and just don't give up. Just remember, at the end of the day, bro, there'll be another day. You know what I mean? You're just gonna. You
can't
finish
stay
strong.
in the same position.
Yeah, you just can't
the whole
accept.
time. You can't just accept the fact that you're here.
Yeah.
You need to break through. There's always more to you than just where you are now. There's always, obviously, if you guys have a dream, like you see yourself in a dream, that means if you actually put the hard work in, that means there's already a future of you that's like that. That's why you have the dream.
Yeah.
So you need to work hard on your dream and
just don't give up, innit? Don't give up. You're gonna
as obviously you probably hear this all the time, but
yeah. And next week, hopefully, we can bring Jordan in. We are coming up to the end. That was we just hit 30 minutes
mark.
This episode went really quick.
That one quick.
And we were supposed to cover 313, so we're gonna cover that next week. We're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna have Jordan on. And
we're gonna have Jordan Switzerland.
I might talk about my start at the gym, how I came to this gym. That's another episode for another day. So yeah, we're coming up to the end of the episode.
If there's one thing you need to learn from this episode, is that wallahi, hard work and just genuinely putting in time and effort in one thing will make you achieve a lot in that one thing. Yeah. I promise you. Yeah. It's with everything in life, even if it's just MMA. For me, it's MMA. For you, might be something.
Could be anything. So we're coming up to the end of it.
Coming up to the end. Much appreciated for watching. If you have been watching, and hopefully you've learned something important today. We shall see you guys next week, next Saturday. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.